All right. Hi, welcome. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. So introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Kaylee, and this is my mom, Kim. She's nursing a cold, so we'll get through as best we can. But we're mother-daughter, and
We're part of Sorey Fitness and Kim and Kaylee.
yeah, we have two sites.
Yeah.
Oh, two sites. Okay. So what's the difference between the two websites?
So Sorey Fitness is just your at-home fitness, your meal, ideas, that kind of stuff. And then Kim and Kaylee is our new adventure we're going to try out. And it's going to include more of our day-to-day lives, and it's going to include, like, we love Nashville and traveling and getting to try out, like, all those foods. And so that doesn't always align with fitness. So we wanted to be able to show both sides of our personalities in a genuine way.
Yeah, that sounds really awesome. It's kind of like reality show meets like the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It'll allow us an outlet to express all of us, where Sorey Fitness is just one little segment of us.
Well, that's awesome. So tell me more about you, how you got started, how you started your business together.
Well, let's see. I can go way back. So I've always been into fitness, or I have been. I'm probably the oldest here, but back in the day, Richard Simmons used to come on TV in the morning when I was about 10 years old. And so I fell in love, because I was a little chubby girl. I fell in love with working out with him in order to lose some of that quote unquote baby fat. And then as I grew up and grew older, I started doing like Denise Austin at home, Tammy Lee Webb at home, found Jazzercise, and then I came back to doing home workouts. And so she was all the time watching me, doing Tammy Lee or doing the Firm or whatever workout. She was joining me and doing that. So she's always had that.
Yeah. And
then fast forward a little bit, we went through some financial problems around the same time that my husband at the time was looking at having gastric surgery. And we had to go to support group meetings for that. And as I sat around the table with all the other, people who were considering the surgery, I realized how much I could help them. And I'm not certified in anything, but, so many Americans think that they're eating healthy when they're eating a Nutri-Grain bar, or not to bash Nutri-Grain, but they think that's a whole food. And so I'm like, gosh, I know that that's not good for them. I wished I could help. So I went home that day. Kaylee and I had talked about being a Beachbody coach before. And I was like, I really think we can help people. And I think this would be a great outlet for us. So that's when we signed up to be independent Team Beachbody coaches. And she picked up her blog really heavy then.
Yeah, so we wanted to be seen more than just a coach. So we wanted it to be an outlet for us, because we had done the workouts. Like, we loved P90X, and then that became a little bit too long when I went to college. So we switched to Chalene Extreme and a few of the shorter ones. But we also wanted to be able to showcase our favorite recipes and be able to showcase, like, our tips and how we travel and different things like that, where it wasn't just, it was just a piece of what we were about. So the blog helped us do that, and that kind of launched our business. And that was back in 2011 to 2012.
Right.
Wow.
So 2011, we got it started. 2012, we were like, oh, we probably should take this, like, serious and be consistent with it.
I think that's how everybody starts out. They start out writing a website and they're like, oh, this is kind of fun. And then suddenly you're like, oh, well, I could really do more with this.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
And that website, I mean, her blog, our blog now, because it was her baby then, but now she's, okay, you can start, writing a little bit. It really did help us. And it's a great outlet for us to reach so many more people. Being a coach is awesome, but the blog just opens up the world.
Yeah.
People aren't looking for necessarily a Beachbody program, but they are looking for a balanced diet that isn't crazy,
Yeah.
And that's us. We like balance. We like moderation. So.
Yeah. So tell me more about how Beachbody works and what you do with some of your clients.
So what we offer is typically, like, people can go to the website or find us online somehow, and they will ask us, like, about a program. Like, all right, I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to lose the last 5 pounds. I want to get shredded. I want to add lean muscle. And where we've done so many of the programs, we're able to suggest one to them, and then they can look over it, make sure they like it. And then we add them to our accountability group. And we have a couple different ones. So if it's like a specific program, we might have a group that's all people are doing. And so they can be a part of it. Or if it's an older program, we have a year-round group. And we've known some of those ladies like for 8 years now.
I'll say since 2011.
Yeah, like it's been really cool. Like we've seen babies and, like marriages and everything else.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we like to be able to suggest the programs. We have some of our favorite supplements that we use. So we're able to help people with that. But then we also plug them into a community that we, check in with daily. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it sounds like it's really great that people who have signed up with you have stayed with you for a really long time. So that's really awesome for you guys. What are like some of your biggest health and eating tips for people watching?
So I think our biggest tip is everything in moderation, including moderation, which I know is kind of a cliche, but like if we go, like we do a New York trip in December every year, and people would be shocked with what we eat then. But typically we follow just a healthy, balanced diet, like we aren't, like we try to eat all, like whole foods, but if there might be a box of something in the cabinet, there's probably a Campbell's soup can in there, so we just really try to follow a balanced diet. No food groups are off limits. If you want that glass of wine on Friday night when you go out to eat, then, we allow that. And we just try to keep it really balanced and healthy, because if you go too extreme, we feel like that's when you get into trouble. And that's, when you just start, going through the drive-through and just eating a whole pizza and not even realizing like that you ate it all. So we try to practice mindfulness and balance and allow those little treats here and there.
Yeah, I think that's great. I know there's so many diets out there now. I know I get constantly asked about, what do you think about keto? Like that's the biggest buzz trend right now. And it's like, I drives me crazy. I don't know. Is there any of those diet trends out there right now? You're like, oh, I wish people would just stop doing this.
Yeah, I think we're on board with the keto thing. Like we get asked all the time, and it's like, how is just like cheese and pepperoni and like these fatty meats? Like if a fast food place is like willing to serve you something keto, it probably isn't healthy. Like you need all your food groups.
Yeah, I think a big tip would be just quit looking for a quick fix.
Yeah,
and what works for me might not necessarily work for you. You might not tolerate carbs as well as I tolerate carbs. I personally have to have some, or I get brain fog. And you might do better with more protein. So I think it's just finding what works for your body that's reasonable, it's healthy. It doesn't have to be keto. It doesn't have to be paleo. It doesn't have to be Whole30 or Atkins or whatever. You know your food groups. Stick within your food groups.
Yeah. And another thing that we teach people is, when in doubt, like reach for something that either has a mother or that came from the ground, because that's going to keep you away from a lot of those things like that might be marketed as like natural, but not necessarily clean or healthy for you. So going with that little rule, it can help.
Yeah, I love that. It comes from a mother or it comes from the ground.
The ground.
That's really a little phrase for people.
I heard it somewhere like years ago, so I can't take credit for it, but I don't remember where it was. But
yeah, I mean, because so many things are packaged and it's so confusing. People look at something, it says it's healthy, it says it's paleo, and they're like, oh, this must be good for me. I should eat this, but it's loaded with sugar and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, so if you don't know if it's grown or has a mom, just pick up the box, because there are some healthy things in boxes. Like I get meal delivery because it's just me, and I can read every ingredient on my box. Squash, chicken, I can read every single ingredient. So if you can't, then you might not want to eat it.
Yeah,
definitely. So you guys are really big into fitness and with the Beachbody stuff. So how do you keep people consistent? Because I know that's a lot of what really my readers struggle with, is how to stay consistent with exercise.
Yeah. Well, I think our community really helps, because, we're able to really be able to tell if people are logging in and working out. And then I think the other thing is that we aren't like the boot camp instructor. Like we are like your cheerleaders. So if you fall off track, we're not going to be like, oh my gosh, like where are you on day 3? Like we're going to say like, hey, is everything okay? Like, how are you doing? And if they tell us like this happened, then we're going to say, oh my gosh, like that's a lot going on. Like that's a lot on your plate. Like what can we do this week to get you through it? And then let's start back on Monday and we'll just pick up the calendar where you left off and like you're doing great. Like, you have a lot on your plate. So we try to really connect with people one-on-one. And then I think the group does the same thing, because we've known each other for so long in that group that other members will do the same thing. And we just kind of motivate each other. And I think we try to do a new theme every couple months. So I think having something new helps. Like, and I think that's one reason people go for like the fad diets, because it's like something new. So we try to like take that excitement, but turn it into like a daily task. Like, take a picture of, your fitness shoes, take a picture of something you're going to reward yourself with when you finish this workout program, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'll add in there, like, sometimes when they do tell us we've had this and this happen, I think we have a good enough relationship that we can call BS on something as well, and just say, I understand, because I'm in the same position, I'm having to do this, I'm having to do that, I've got this, just like every other person. What are your goals? Do you still want to hit your goals? It's okay if you want to put them on the back burner, but you told me your goal was to fit into your wedding dress. Is that still important?
Yeah.
So we'll call them out on some stuff like that and just remind them. So I think consistency is checking in with that group and being honest with yourself. Like, what are my goals each day? And it could just be a simple reminder. Just check in with yourself. If you want to skip a workout, well, what was my goal? Why did I even start working out? Mm-hmm. And if it rings important to you, then you're probably going to do something at least 10 minutes that day.
Yeah.
And then my other tip I have to do quite often is I just don't think.
Yeah.
If I think, I will find every excuse in the world not to put on my workout clothes. So I just don't think. I'm like, okay, it's just like, I've got to walk the dog. If I don't walk the dog, we get in trouble. I got to go put on my workout clothes and work out. And then when you're consistent, you're going to see results. And then that leads to something else. I know there's that gap there for like 4 weeks. You're like, I'm killing myself and I'm not seeing anything. But you get past that magic moment and you look at yourself and you're like, and then it just starts another motivation, and you're going to stay consistent again for another month.
And I think that we also try to give everybody a plan so they can get through that first 4 weeks. So like, we'll suggest like different meal ideas, or we'll say, all right, this program comes with this calendar. Like, you can't just like decide you're going to log on and like click play on something. Like, you're going to have to do day 1, and then you're going to do day 2 and move on. So I think for me that helps, because I can actually like see it getting marked off. Yeah. So even if my body's not changing, I can see the progress because I know I've actually completed those pieces.
Right. And it usually, if we have a brand new program, we have a separate group just for that program. So you're doing day 1 with lots of other people that are doing day 1. So you're like, all right, I've done it. And
yeah, and if you don't, you're going to feel guilty.
Yeah. It's that accomplishment.
Some peer pressure.
So if you don't have a group, you need to at least have somebody that you text and say, I did it today. Like our Apple Watch, when we finished a workout, it'll ding her and it'll say, Kim just finished a workout. So something that simple, just to let somebody else know that you finished.
Yeah.
It's great accountability.
There's so many things you can do with like the Apple Watch and the Fitbit too. So like, there's all kinds of communities and challenges that you can do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's an important thing for a lot of people who are trying to lose weight. It's a very isolating thing to lose weight on your own, and it can feel very scary and isolating when everybody else is eating what they want and doing what they want, and you're doing all these things. So I think it's really great structure and great tips, because having that community and that support system in place really helps people stay on track.
Yeah. Another thing that we do, which I didn't realize it was unique or even a little weird, but like if we, I know, who would have thought, like this weird mother-daughter, but we'll actually like, if I know I'm going to go out to a friend's house on Friday, like we'll do like a potluck and a game night, then I'll make sure that I eat really good all week. So that way on Friday night, I can eat whatever I want. And that helps with some of that isolation too. And people are always surprised because like I'll reach for a cookie or something and they're like, oh, wow. So I think that, like if you just have a plan and you watch your portions, like that's one way you can get around like the social part. It's still isolating, but that can help.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great tip. You guys have had some amazing tips today. Is there anything else you want to share with my readers and everybody watching?
I did think of one reading over the questions earlier. A big problem that we run into, I think somebody asked, what is a problem our clients have to begin with? And they're so gung-ho. And I love it. You have this goal, you want to crush it. And then you go in the first day and you're either trying a workout that's too hard or even a workout that fits you, but you push too hard. And it defeats you because you're out of breath. You feel like you're going to puke. And then the next day you can't move and you hate working out. So my advice is to find your level of exertion, which you need to be able to talk. You shouldn't be able to sing. You shouldn't be able to carry on a conversation, but you should be able to mouth out a word like, I am working, leave me alone, you know? But so find that level. You shouldn't be coming close to puking or.
No. And I think it depends on like what you like to do too. Like for us, like we don't ever really like to do like the workouts that have 1,000 burpees. And if somebody told us that was the only way to work out, we'd be like, well, I'm sorry, like I gotta go this way. Yeah. But, you know, like you just keep, like if you're willing to, you can find something that you do like. Like it might be dancing, it might be strength training, it might be yoga, but like don't give up if you haven't found your program yet or your workout at the gym. Don't give up. Just keep trying new things.
Yes, and don't be afraid to modify. Please go at your pace. You will eventually get to where you can do every single burpee if that's what you want to do, but don't kill yourself getting there because you'll just stop after the first week. I've seen it too
so
often.
many times.
Yeah,
they don't eat. The people will starve themselves. I'm like, you have to eat.
Yeah,
so.
I love your tip about like not being super like going all in and pushing yourself really hard. I was telling one of my classes this morning, I was like, you know, you see toddlers and they get up and they're walking and they fall down and they stand up and they fall down many, many times right before they start walking. And you don't ever tell a toddler, hey, you're not going to be able to do this. You keep encouraging them, right? Yes. It's the same thing with working out. You just have to keep getting back up and going.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So where can everybody find you guys?
So if they want our fitness tips, soreyfitness.com is the best place to find us. And Sorey is Sorey. Okay. And then if they want to see all of our crazy cahoots and stuff, see Nashville, anything like that, then they'll want to check out kimandkaylee.com. And that'll have all of our, you know, social media and all that's on both of the websites so they can find us.
Awesome. That sounds fun. I'm definitely going to follow you guys along. I love that kind of stuff. Well, it's been great chatting with you guys, and thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Bye.
Bye.